I've been concerned that S1216, Life Eternal, is it something that's worth publishing? I suppose because it was dealing with a negative state, and I couldn't quite get hold of it. And I'm about 5 or 10 minutes into it now, or possibly just 5, and I think it might be this. We're not saved by what we do, other than to be conscious of what he does. He loves us and is full of loving kindness towards us, care. And he holds the future in his hand, in his mind, so to speak. He knows where we are to go for the fullness of life and life eternal, by which I mean eternal peace, joy, happiness, a being that's in harmony with his loveliness and goodness. He holds this in mind for us. And if we have to do anything, it's to remind ourselves of his goodness. Hence the emphasis in religion so often on praise and worship of God. God being the personification of all that we hold to be good and lovely. We focus our consciousness and attention on this. That's the only practice that really, I was going to say, pays off. You know what I mean, don't you? To appreciate his goodness transforms our life. You could say, well, appreciating goodness, his goodness, leads us to do good things and the right things. Yes, that's true. But it's appreciating his goodness and the rest is automatic. It's out of our hands, you see. What brings us to practice this appreciation, to be ever appreciative? Contrast, I'm afraid. The good and the bad that we experience here in the material world. This is what brings us, in Christian jargon, to our knees, to the throne. Yes, most people come to their religion in desperation. That is true. It's because it's contrast. They've suffered some terrible loss or contrast or pain or fear. And they just smash their way into God's presence quite reasonably. I'm desperate, I need help. And it's a complete surrender. It's only you can do it, Lord. I don't know the answer to this. I haven't got it to hand. Only you. Only you. And then, assuming they survive, and they're still conscious, right? They're so grateful for the contrast of being rescued from the illness or into something lovely again, a good relationship, or a time of plenty, a time of harvest, or a time of good weather. You know, the typhoon has gone, or you know, the earthquake stopped, and we start to get life together again, and the sunny days and the peace. You're so grateful for it. You're thankful to God. Do you see, I had a Christian couple, and she occasionally said, oh, he needs crushing, referring to her husband. I mean, they were a Christian couple, believe it or not. I mean, very earnest. And in some sense, she meant he's wanting of appreciation and devotion to God for real. And that's only going to come by a catastrophe. They did. They went into a ministry which, they sold up everything, and looked a bit dramatic. I was a bit worried. They left east of England where we lived in Essex and went and lived in the West Country with this, what I thought and my wife thought was a wacky fellowship. That's not going to do it. I don't think much of this. And they were back within a year. Or were they actually back? Anyway, they were out of it completely within a year. And tried to piece together and get back on track again. The contrast. So it probably was that she was right, just that they were going to suffer it together, and, well, I guess that's what happens with man and wife. You experience things together, and thank God for that, because, well, if that's what he has, that's what we need, and we love him and trust him for it. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. But do you see, the only practice is gratitude. How do I take hold of this? I can't just switch on gratitude. You can really. Anything that's nice, just focus on it. Let the appreciation automatically give birth to you in gratitude. Thank you, Heavenly Dad, for your kindness, for this beauty, for this goodness, this loveliness, this coincidence that's such a blessing, this provision, this kindness, this company, this experience of your fantastic universe, this leisure that I have now if I'm unemployed, this comfort of this even hospital bed, and the care that I am getting if you're sick. You're going to look for and notice and appreciate every kindness you've received from every quarter, the breath you breathe, the mind you have, the day, the food that still comes to you, the birds singing, the thought of you, wonderful one. Do you see? You just need to give thanks and praise. Praise is to remind yourself of all the goodness of God, if there's no goodness in your life at all. That goodness, the awareness of that goodness, will bring you an appreciation, a valuing, a thankfulness. Do you see? It is a practice, but it's not a physical practice, is it? And it's not some torturous meditation. I mean torturous in the sense of, how do I still the mind? How do I just want to get up. I don't want to sit here and waste the day struggling in posture and breath, and just want you, God. I need you, God. Well, that's an appreciation, isn't it? Especially when you remind yourself, well, he's God. I mean, you've got him. I mean, you can't not have him. He's with you day and night, every moment. Every cell of your being lives because of him. He's the God of the living God. He is life. And he's our dad. That's why you've got life. It's his life in you. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. So you blossom and flourish into life again. Do you see? It's not what you do. It's what you choose to be aware of. What you choose to be aware of is not an arduous or difficult thing. Would you rather be aware of the bad or the good? Well, the good, of course. Good. Do it. And as I say, if you really can't do this, you come to a complete stop. You're in pain. It won't come off your mind. And every time you feel the pain, you say, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Father. In an absolute realization that it's only trust in Him that's going to do anything for life eternal, true life, and blessedness. And hence there's that song, I surrender, I surrender. I want to love you more, want to know you more. Put your own words in there, can't you? I want to thank you more. I want to bless you more. I want to be with you more. I surrender. I surrender your will in my life, Lord. In other words, I trust you. I wish to enter into this trust. He's not going to say no, is he? Because he loves you. He's with you for eternity. He is our life eternal. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. I surrender. I surrender. I want to love you more. I want to know you more. I surrender. I surrender. I want to love you more. I want to know you more. I surrender. You see, we surrender what they have called living in this material world to being in His eternal presence. I am my friend's daughter, resting on Dad. That is my being, you see? Can you feel that being? I surrender what they have called life for eternal being in the embrace of our Heavenly Dad, in the host, the vast heavenly family of God. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.